Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Thank you guys all for joining me. Going to be on here for the next hour answering all your snowboard questions. So definitely hit me up with anything you got on your mind. It's also super chat, so if you have a question that you really need answering, hit that super chat button. It's an awesome way to support the channel, and it's a good way to get your question answered. So today I'm in Whistler, Canada. Took the day off of riding today. It's bit cloudy and raining up top, but we've had some awesome spring conditions recently. The past week, lots of spring riding. We've had a few days of like hot sunny park laps, so it's been pretty cool. Just wanted to start off by saying thank you guys for making this great North American winter season. It's been, I think, the best season yet. We traveled all over the place, got to meet fans and subscribers of the channel from all over the world. So that was definitely the highlight, was just meeting most of you guys. So that was pretty amazing. And yeah, it's been, the season went by very, very quick. Like, I was surprised. But there's still lots to come. We still have spring riding in Whistler. We're going to be doing some spring riding in Oregon at Mount Hood at Timberline. And also this summer coming up, we're going to be at High Cascade again at Mount Hood. And yeah, then some Southern Hemisphere plans, maybe Chile, maybe New Zealand, maybe Australia. So lots coming up. And yeah, quick recap for you guys. Just want to share with you guys just, you know, some of the highlights of the season, and also just some of the things that I've learned, and talk to you guys about them. So if maybe give you guys some ideas too. But yeah, it was, the season went by very fast, like starting here in Whistler. And the early winter in Whistler was like full on, like snowstorms, lots of snow, lots of powder riding. If you guys watch some of those early season videos, it was a lot of like me and TJ, and some with Kris as well, like getting into some just the deepest snow we've ever been in. Some of the days it was actually too deep, and it was cool. It was kind of like every time we went up there, it was like an adventure. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know exactly what boards to bring up sometimes, and just like dressing for the conditions too. It was like a lot of snow and wind and craziness up there. So it was a pretty exciting early season. And what I learned a lot in early season Whistler, November, December, was about my board selection. I had, there was kind of like 3 powder boards that I was messing around with a bit. So I had the Burton Deep Thinker, which did pretty good in the powder. I had the Nitro POW board, which is like purely made for the POW, and also the Libtech Orca, which is kind of like one of those do everything all mountain powder boards. And I learned a lot about boards from riding those 3. The Deep Thinker was decent in powder, but I would say it is more of like an all mountain kind of like freestyle board. And then the Nitro POW, which is like that true full powder board, it was good, but it's kind of just made for being on the run on the mountain and not kind of like getting a lot of air or being that dynamic. And then once I got into the Orca, I feel like I learned a lot about what makes an awesome powder board, and the combination of like performance, of stability for drops, for just being aggressive, like riding aggressively through trees and through that all mountain. The Orca taught me a lot about what like I look for in a board and what I like. And yeah, it really paid off. So in the powder or on the groomers, the Orca was pretty cool early season. And then we headed off to Japan early January for like an epic Japan trip. And yeah, Japan was, I think it's got to be the highlight. It always, when I'm thinking about like what are my highlights of the season, Japan always just like pops into my head first. Just so much snow. It like lived up to all that hype. And it's pretty cool when you hear about the reputation of a place and then you actually get to go there and experience it and it delivers. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Japan was awesome. Just nonstop snow, really light. The trees there were so different. I love going to different mountains because you get to explore all these different kinds of trees. And the trees in Japan were just wide open, and yeah, lots of powder. And yeah, it was cool. So a really cool experience over there. And then we hit up Jackson Hole, Wyoming, another like place, another kind of like bucket list type place. And big learning experience there too, because Jackson was so steep, so like much advanced and expert terrain that it really actually made me like kind of step up my game a little bit in terms of like reading terrain and seeing where to go. And there was a really cool run that we found there. It was like in the head wall, riding across. So a short hike, and then it takes you to this place where we found like a gully that had like a cornice drop followed by like this like natural roll that you could launch off of into powder. And yeah, Jackson was just really cool. And the thing that I learned at Jackson too is that there's all these like surrounding resorts that were small that a lot of the tourists didn't go to. And so we did like 2 or 3 days of riding at this smaller resort, Grand Targhee, and yeah, that was a pretty cool experience too. And I feel like that's one thing I learned from traveling to all these big destinations, is that sometimes you can have just as much fun or more fun at some of the smaller resorts because they're just like less known. The snow gets tracked out a lot slower, and you just have more of the resort to yourself. And there was one day where we definitely felt like we had the resort to ourselves, and that was pretty cool. It definitely stands out. And then heading over to, then in like early March, heading over to Revelstoke and getting onto like going to the BC interior, which is the first time I was ever in the interior of BC. And lots of learning there with like the avalanche safety, with split boards. It didn't snow while we were there, but we could go exploring and get into the backcountry. And I highly recommend, if you're like interested in any of that stuff, to like take an avalanche course, read up on some of the avalanche safety stuff. There's like avalanche safety apps. FatMap is a cool one that we discovered, and some of our friends who came on the trips with us too, they discovered the FatMap. And yeah, just learning more about splitboarding, avalanche safety was such a cool thing. It's like a whole other part of snowboarding that opens up a lot of stuff to you. So yeah, it's been a long season, but it went by like so quickly. And now it's like spring conditions in Whistler. Oh yeah, I forgot, we went to Colorado too. And the coolest thing with Colorado was just meeting up with the other snowboard YouTubers, so Ryan Napton and Jonathan Buckhouse. That Ryan Napton video where I just filmed him a few laps and asked him some questions, that video has like absolutely blown up. And I think it's just because Ryan was like killing it that day on his board. Can definitely see that his like, the amount of effort and the amount of time he's put into riding and carving and buttering has like paid off. And he is just like a beast out there. So big props to him, and that video is blowing up. So thanks to all of you guys for checking out that video. But yeah, enough of me rambling on. Let's get to some of your questions and give you guys some shout outs. And like, yeah, thank you guys all for coming along for this season. And I hope that hope the content has paid off for you guys. I hope that some of the tutorials have helped you guys out, and some of the vlog and like just for fun videos, you guys have enjoyed those. And yeah, thank you guys for all the support. But yeah, let's check out. Oh man, we got a lot of people tuning in. Also guys, let me know where you guys are watching from, because that's always fun to see where you guys are watching from along with your questions. So we got a million pop off on here. We got Nick, we got David, we got Shred 1904, we got Haley from Victoria, BC, Mystery Guy, we got East Coast Board Life, we got Danilo from Italy, Silcoats from the UK, Max from Michigan. Awesome, thanks to you guys all for tuning in. Joseph from New England. And if I miss any of you guys, I'm definitely going to try to get to as many questions and comments and shout outs as possible in this next hour. So if I miss you, I'll just hit me up again. And we got Anonymous K from Melbourne. We got Fleet Rider from VA. Is that, where's VA? Is that Vermont? No, that's not Vermont. What would VA be? East Coast Board Life. Jake is a Panda. Jake is a Panda with the first question. How do I move my bindings? Yeah, you just need a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and just check out some of the snowboard stance setup videos. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, just mess around with your bindings and your board, and you'll get it. Awesome. So we got Joe watching from Belgium. What do I think of the Union Contact Pro bindings? I've actually never ridden the Contact Pros, but I think, yeah, Union bindings, I do like them. I've had the Contacts, and I've had the Forces, and I've had the Union Atlas, a lot of different pairs. I would just, I can't remember what the ankle strap is on the Union Contact Pros. I think it's a good ankle strap though, but I feel like you want enough stability with a good ankle strap. And if it's like the 3D sort of molded ankle strap, I would say go for the Contact Pros. Awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Tons of people. We got NGen, we got InMotion SLB, we got Justin Visey. So I heard that our buddies Yannick and Rav actually met up with Justin down in LA. So that was really cool. I saw some photos, and Justin, they're telling me that Justin's been down snowboarding in Chile. So I might have to send out Justin an email and get some information on possibly doing some riding in Chile this summer. Shout out to John Maroney. And yeah, everyone's here. This is sick. All right, so we got the first super chat from Mark Licata. He says, my family and I were in Whistler will be in Whistler all next week, and I want to get 2 hoodies. Any chance I can get them in person if I order them online? Also, any suggestion for the trip are much appreciated. Awesome, man. So the hoodies we actually don't have like here in Whistler. So the hoodies that are for Snowboard Pro Camp and the shirts are all done online. So the person that makes the hoodies and shirts sends them out. However, the beanies and stickers we have here in Whistler. So I've got some beanies and stickers upstairs. So Mark, yeah, maybe drop me a line on email or on Instagram, and maybe we can do like a Whistler meetup while you're here, and I'll just hook you up with some beanies and stickers, man. But yeah, there's links below too if anybody wants to check out the Snowboard Pro Camp beanies and stickers. And I think we're getting close to selling out of this round of stuff, so gonna have some slightly different beanies and stickers coming soon. So gonna switch it up, I think, for the summer months, which I'm pretty excited about. And suggestions for the trip while you're in Whistler, I would say, like, you know, in Whistler at the spring, you kind of get a mix of all conditions. Typically in the mornings in Whistler, it can be pretty firm snow because there's like a melting and then refreezing cycle that's happening. So if it's icy in the morning, just wait a little while. In the afternoon, everything normally softens up. Even if you don't get up the mountain until like a little bit later, like 11 or noon, that can be a good time to go up because that's when everything starts to really get soft. And then just ride right till the end until like 4. I think the chairlifts close at 4. And even if it's in the village, if you have a lot of clouds and overcast skies, a lot of the times at the top of the mountain it'll be clear or like a mix of sun and clouds. So like yesterday I went up and it looked cloudy, it looked kind of nasty, but once I got up there, it was the sun was coming out and it was like a beautiful day, and I was super happy. So yeah, just make the most of your snowboard days, and yeah, just get up there. And I think the afternoons are definitely the best. And yeah, go back and forth between Whistler and Blackcomb. Both are pretty cool, and you got the peak to peak there, so you can jump back and forth across mountains as much as you want. And awesome question from Abrams. Do you like the Libtech Orca or the GNU Space Case overall? Yeah, it's a tough one. So this is the GNU Space Case here. This is my park board, kind of all mountain and park board. My Libtech is actually just, or the Orca is just over there. You guys can't see it. But yeah, they're actually very similar boards, but the Orca is also, it's like volume shifted, so it's a bit shorter and wider, and has a bit of a bigger nose for riding in powder with a shorter tail. So it's really, you can't really compare those boards. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Like this one's made for the park and the Orca is made for more for all mountain and powder. But I feel like they're very similar boards. They have like the same base camber profile. So I love them both, and they both have magnet traction. The GNU is a ASIM for riding in the park, so the heel edge is a little bit shorter than the toe side cut. And yeah, I feel like I need both those boards. One for powder, one for park, and then I'm good. If I could only choose one though, that'd be tough. I'd maybe lean towards, man, they're both amazing. The Space Case actually floats decently in powder because of that profile too. I had it out in Jackson in some powder and it did pretty well. And NGen wants to know, Kevin, what's the steepest terrain, Jackson or St Anton? St Anton. Yeah, I think St Anton is still steeper. The European Alps, I feel like they're still bigger, steeper, for sure, than Jackson. What was the steepest run in Jackson? Just like that entrance to Corbet's Couloir was very steep, and the whole mountain overall in Jackson and at Revelstoke too. They're just like very like consistently steep mountains, but they didn't have like any one run that was, I think, steeper than what you guys have over in Europe. So yeah, Europe is still steeper. I think next winter we're gonna definitely hit up some more European destinations. So I expect a European invasion next winter with Snowboard Pro Camp. So I'll see you out there, NGen. And whoa, lots of people watching from all over the place here: New England, New Mexico, Ohio, Indiana, California, America, Toronto. Kevin from Toronto, another one. Awesome, thanks guys. And we got Justin Johns with another super chat. He says, I'm watching from my flight to Denver to go ride with Buckhouse. Awesome, money well spent on Wi-Fi. Awesome, that's amazing, Justin. Yeah, I hope that plane Wi-Fi is working well for you. I find that a lot of times when I'm on a plane, I like pay like the $13 for Wi-Fi. It ends up messing up, but awesome that it's working out, dude. And yeah, have fun riding with Jonathan Buckhouse. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, the conditions when we left Keystone in Colorado there, they were amazing. It was like sunny. We were just like roasting up on the mountain, having some good spring park laps. So yeah, have a good time out there, man. Say hi to Jonathan for me. A bunch of people watching from Virginia, Switzerland. Awesome, guys. NC says, if the season is looking over in Whistler, where are you riding next? Yeah, so the Whistler season is we're still riding until the end of May. So we still have almost 2 months of snowboarding left here in Whistler. And then I think for June and July, it's gonna be a lot of riding at Timberline in Mount Hood, Oregon. So that's the next plan. And then the Southern Hemisphere plans start happening. So New Zealand or Australia or Chile. I think between those three, we would like to get down to Chile. It is pretty expensive, all like the flights and stuff, especially to Chile is pretty, actually both are expensive, but yeah, we're gonna see if we can make it happen. It would be pretty cool to visit at least 2 of those 3 places. And we got Melissa watching from Dillon, Colorado. Awesome. And Ethan has a question. How do you work up the courage to do a new trick? P.S. Love your videos. Longtime fan. Awesome. Thanks, Ethan. Yeah, so I feel like with the tricks, it's always about like building up to it. And even, so for example, the other day I wanted to do a back 3 with a mute grab. And so I started off just hitting the jumps straight air just to get comfortable with them, and then doing mute grabs on their own, and then doing back 180s to kind of like work up to the 3, and then doing back 180s with mute grabs, and then doing the 3 without a grab, and then the back 3 with the mute grab. So it's all about like just building it up. And then the next step would be, like for me, it'd be like, yeah, like a back 5 mute grab. So then I would just, do some back 5s, do back 5 mute, and yeah, it's building up to it like that. So getting as close to the trick as you can, and then with the tricks or with that, whatever you've known before, and taking it like that close. And then yeah, once you're feeling confident, snow conditions matter a lot too, especially right now. we kind of have this thing that happens where it's like very firm in the morning. You have like that sweet like spot of an hour or two of snowboarding where it's like really good conditions, and then it starts to get soft. So if you're in that like sweet spot of conditions and you're feeling good, then that's like kind of like the best time to go for it. And we got Jose Batista on here. What's up, Jose? Lots of questions coming through. Justin Bernardo with another super chat. He says, going to Brighton, Utah next week. Temperatures are 30 to 40 Fahrenheit. Bringing my headspace, should I bother with the Orca? Is it worth bringing for spring conditions? I guess it depends on what you're riding. I think if you're planning on riding the terrain park, I would just bring the Orca. But if you like to ride the whole mountain, I think I would like to ride the whole mountain on the Orca. If I was just cruising the mountain, I'd probably just bring the Orca. I would bring the Orca up as well. So yeah, it kind of depends on what you want to do. For me, lately I've just been taking out the space case because I've been going straight to the terrain park. But if I had a day where I knew I was just going to be cruising up in the mountain with friends or something, or maybe going to search for some powder, I don't know what the weatherman's calling for in Brighton, but yeah, that would be my deciding factor. If you're only riding park, just bring the headspace. If you're riding the whole mountain, I would bring both. Good question, man. And we got Mark Licata with the super chat. He says, works for me. Thanks, Kevin. Awesome. Thanks for the support, Mark. All right, lots of good questions here. Oh, so Gemma Spencer says, the GNU Velvet is looking swanky. Yeah, so this is my wife Jill's new board, the GNU Velvet. If you guys saw the video the other day, Jill went up riding, and yeah, at the end of the day, we got her the GNU Velvet. And the reason that we picked that one up is because it's actually very similar to the headspace, or sorry, the space case. So it's a ASIM board, and it's also got, it doesn't have the C2X profile, it's just C2, so a little bit softer, but kind of that combination of camber and rocker. And it's got magnet traction too, which I'm pretty excited for Jill to try out some magnet traction. So yeah, I think Jill is really gonna like it. I can't wait for her to get on it. I feel like maybe next week Jill will be up snowboarding, so we'll see. And Cave S, he says, hi Kevin, sorry I have a cute question. I'm a beginner and your videos helped a lot. I'm going to buy a board but don't know the width. I think that's what you're trying to say. What is suitable for a beginner? Yeah, beginner board is, I feel like, just start off at base price. So you don't need to buy a board that's really expensive. The more expensive, typically, like, you know, you're getting a lot of materials and tech that some of the higher end riders use. So I would just start off with a board at the base level price. And yeah, one thing to look for is a board that has a rocker towards the nose and tail. And rocker basically means the board is like lifting away from the snow. And that's just gonna make it a little bit easier to turn and a little bit more catch free. So that would, yeah, that'd be my advice. And Charles Van Villet says, hey Kevin, do you vary your stance width according to the conditions or kind of riding? Yeah, definitely. So for the park, my stance is just kind of like a medium width, like kind of comfortable for me, nothing too wide. But if I'm riding powder, I'll set my stance like back towards the tail, and I'll probably make it a little bit wider just because when I'm riding at high speeds and I've got my knees bent, and I find that with a little bit wider stance and being able to get a bit lower really helps just stay in better control through the powder. So yeah, for like the all mountain powder riding or carving too. Carving, I think, with a little bit wider stance, just get your center of gravity a bit lower. So Justin Visey with the super chat. What's up, Justin? He says, hey Kevin, I'm more than happy to answer any question about Chile. You can shoot me an email or get my contact info from Yannick and Narav. Hashtag Taco Fund. Thanks, Justin, man. Yeah, I will for sure get your info off of those guys, and it would be great to pick your brain about Chile and yeah, where to go, where to stay, and all that kind of stuff. When's a good time of year? So I'll send those. I'll get your info off of those guys. Thanks, man. And East Coast Board Life says, smash the like button. That would be awesome. Thanks for the suggestion. By N says, what is your favorite type of grab? So at the moment, my favorite grab is a mute grab. So I kind of getting like a front shifty and then going for the mute. And it actually kind of looks like the Snowboard Pro Camp logo up there too. So that's actually an indie grab, but it looks pretty much identical to the mute grab when you get your board sideways. All right, great questions, guys. We got Kris watching from Portland, Oregon. Room temperature milk says go to Lax next year. Yeah, I would love to go to Lax, Switzerland. So Johnny says, do you fully detune your parkboard edges or just the contact points, if at all? I don't detune my board just because I also don't tune it, so I don't sharpen up the edges. So I kind of like just let them detune naturally. If I was getting a brand new board and taking it straight onto some like rails or something, then I would maybe detune it. But TJ's got like one of these like little blocks. It's called a gummy stone, and you kind of like run that over your edges to take off any like little metal burrs or little things that are sticking out, just little imperfections. So I feel like that is a good thing to have. I think there's two things. You can get like diamond stone and also a gummy stone. And if you have both of those, you can kind of like run them over your edges just a little bit before riding. It'll take away any imperfections. So something I actually need to pick up a couple of those because I'm just borrowing TJ's at the moment. But yeah, I think that's a good thing. All right, so we got greetings from Germany. We got greetings from Turkey. Awesome, thanks so much, guys. So Old Man Shredder is on here. Old Man Shredder, man, been loving your videos too. If ever, check out Old Man Shredder's YouTube channel. He says, what's up, Kevin? How much is the rider and how much is the board? How much is style for choosing a camber or rocker or twin or directional board? Hashtag DWCP. I think it's mostly the rider, but the board helps. I feel like the board definitely helps. Since like this season, I've been pretty hooked on, actually a good example of this is, so early back in December when I was riding the Orca and TJ was riding the Jones Storm Chaser, and we were like doing drops and hitting jumps and stuff, and TJ was having like a really hard time landing the drops because of the board he was riding. Not like he's a sick rider, he can definitely like land pretty much anything, but the board was kind of like holding him back, and it was just not the right board for drops. So in that circumstance, the Orca was actually really helping me land a lot of stuff. So in that circumstance, it's kind of like a mix, but the board can definitely help. Also, like with these like firm conditions, I've like seen like a massive improvement in my carving ability with the magnet traction. Like in the past, if I'm on just like a traditional camber board riding at high speeds and then I hit some firm snow or some ice, I feel like you get that like few feet of just like slide across the ice. And since I've become a magnet traction fanboy, I'm like just not, my board's like stop sliding. It's allowed me to carve like so much better and stay much more in control. So it's a bit of both. You can just keep stripping down all the tech on boards and just go back to like a plain old regular traditional camber board with none of the bells and whistles. But yeah, it's just more fun to ride with all these fun boards with all the new tech. So I feel like it's a bit of both, but the board helps. The board definitely helps a lot. And Kanon1 says, do you mountain bike in the summer? I don't mountain bike in the summer just because I found mountain biking is very expensive, and there's also a lot of risk to go with mountain biking. So if I hurt myself mountain biking, I'd be in big trouble for snowboarding. So just limiting my like risky activities to snowboarding. Excuse me. I have a bike, but it's more of just like a touring around town kind of bike. And so yeah, the only risky activity I do is snowboarding. And mountain biking. It seems like a lot of fun, but it's too much risk, and it's also just a bit too expensive for me to commit to it. And we got another person watching from Turkey. Old Man Shudder's watching from Sweden. We've got a whole bunch of people from all over the world. Tristan wants to know Big White versus Whistler. I've actually never rode Big White, so I don't know. And we got William saying shit up from the Netherlands. What would you prefer to ride? Nice clean piste or a fresh line of powder? For sure, powder for sure. And we got Osvaldo with the super chat. Thanks, Osvaldo. He says, how would you compare the Orca to the Jones flagship? Don't know which one to get since you talk so much positive feedback about the Orca. I would say that they're kind of similar. They both have like some magnet traction happening, so good grip for the groomers and things. They both have like a shorter tail, which I think is nice, but they don't have like a crazy swallowtail. They both float, but I feel like the difference is I think the Orca performs better in terms of control for like drops and things because of that C2X profile. I think the Jones is directional camber, like camber towards the back and rocker towards the front. I could be wrong, but I think that's what the Jones flagship is. So I like the camber profile better on the Orca, just for that stability. But other than that, I think they're pretty similar. Good question. And Fleet Rider with the super chat. Thanks, Fleet Rider. He says, added the GNU Air Blaster to the quiver. Oh, awesome. You and the guys should head out to the Ice Coast at least once next winter. Yeah, that was kind of in the back of our minds this winter, was to get out to the Ice Coast. It didn't happen, but maybe next year we'll get it done. Oh, we got somebody walking in here. I think it's Kris Ayers.
Oh my lord!
But yeah, the GNU, that board is it looks pretty cool. And I'm gonna move over here. Kris is coming in. I didn't even know he was gonna be here.
Oh, surprise!
But yeah, thanks for the support, man. Yeah, that GNU Air Blaster board looks a lot of fun. I might try it out next year. Yo, Kris, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
How's it going?
Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Hey.
How's the good riding yesterday? That was pretty fun.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, same with you.
You got a tan.
No. I don't tan.
Spring tan. All right,
it's just the beard.
All right, Kris, you want to get right into it here, man?
Sure.
Oh, man.
I was listening at home on the sly. Hi, everybody.
Here, I'll let you take this one. The Emperor's with the super chat. He says, hi, Kevin and Kris now.
Yep.
I have mastered toe stops, but looking at the top of the mountain. Oh, wow. Do you have any similar tips for stopping on heels? Mm-hmm. What do you think? Usually people have more trouble with the toe stop.
Yeah. I mean, with the heels, obviously you want to be facing down the mountain, equal pressure on your feet. I wouldn't say you want to look like down at the slope, because then that increases your risk of catching your front edge potentially. But just keep that pressure like on your heels. It's kind of like if you're running in the dirt and you jump and then like dig your heels in to like the dirt. You feel that pressure like on the heels on the back of your feet.
You jump into dirt on your heels?
All the time, you know? We have different backgrounds.
Have you ever jumped into a big dirt pile on your heels?
Yeah.
I guess so. Maybe when I was a kid, yeah.
All the farmers are agreeing with me.
Playing some King of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
What would you say?
Yeah, all those things. And I think sometimes what happens is like, if you're like coming around onto the heels with a lot of speed, some people get like that heel chatter.
Oh, yeah.
And so think about controlling your speed more on your toes so that you're not flying into the heels with so much speed.
Yeah. Usually overcompensate coming into the heels hot, and then you putting too much pressure and they start chattering. Keep your bum low.
Oh yeah, sit in the chair. Yeah, we had that. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out the 10 carving tips video with me and Kris, and we talk about all that stuff. Sitting in the chair.
You can't sit too low.
I can't sit as low as you. You have way better flexibility than me.
I've been practicing.
Nice. I'm a million pop off with the super chat as well. Thanks for keeping us really entertained this season. It was the best one indeed. Wow. Looking forward for you guys taking us to South America this summer. Awesome, a million. Yeah. Hashtag DWCP.
What does that mean? I saw that before. Old Man Shredder stuck that up.
They have some kind of like secret chat room that they DWCP. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, what do you think of South America? You've been to Central America?
Honduras, Guatemala. Yeah, really cool area. I love to go to Chile. Ever since I saw it in that Mac Dog, Trapped in Chile, dude.
Yeah,
it looks great. And then I've had people that have gone to down in Patagonia, and that looks crazy. And Travis Trice did that bit down in Patagonia too.
Honestly, all the parts I've ever seen from South America, they don't look good at all. Like they don't.
What you mean? Yeah.
They don't. It's like they're always like, in the video parts, they're like, oh, we're in Patagonia, we're gonna ride down this like icy chute.
We've been here for a week, and there's 30 minutes that we can potentially go without getting socked in.
Or even in that Jeremy Jones part, they're like, the resort was closed, so we just rode around the hotel. That's like that whole part is just them like jumping off the balcony and stuff. And
right. That would be a shame to go all the way down there and then just ride around.
Have you seen
Cookie Mart?
Yeah, like have you seen any good parts from Chile? Because I actually haven't, so that's what's holding me back.
Maybe just some clips on like Insta, but not any big parts. That's true.
They make it look good. It's easy to make stuff look good, but is it? But it may be one of those things where you have to go down there and experience it for yourself. So
it's not about actually snowboarding. It's about traveling like 10 hours on a rickety old bus and changing 2 flats and almost getting caught in a rock slide.
I don't want to do any of that. Yeah. In a rock slide, jumping on my heels and
eating nothing but quinoa for a week.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. What's the vegan options like in South Central America?
I think they like their meat, but quinoa is from around there.
They make quinoa down in Chile? Oh, it's like an big export?
Yeah, they were saying that the locals couldn't afford it anymore because they were selling it off to like people in Vancouver for triple the price.
Oh, okay.
It's from around that area.
Oh, nice.
Lots of fruit and veggies, but a lot of meat heavy stuff, I'm sure.
Okay, especially in Brazil. I know those Brazilian barbecue.
And the Argentinians too. They go crazy for it.
And Old Man Shredder with a super chat, he says, great answer, Kev. Love the rail vid today. Awesome. Thanks for checking it out. Oh yeah, man. Kris filmed the rail vid. Yeah.
Word. That was my first proper time filming with the
gimbal.
The gimbal.
Nice. Yeah, you did a good job.
It was a little practice. Yeah. Kevin was giving me some tips along the way. And figured it out.
Yeah, if you guys are out there, if you have the gimbal, like the GoPro one, it's kind of hard because the plane stays the same, so you kind of have to just move the camera up and down. And
I'm bringing parallels to like learning snowboarding, because a lot of times when you do stuff like sitting in the chair, you sit down, you don't really think you're sitting down, or you think you are sitting down, but you're not actually sitting down as far as you think you are.
Yeah.
So same with the gimbal too. Like he's like, okay, when you go over the jump, you have to like lift it up, and then when you land, you got to like drop it down. So I was just trying to do it as much as I could, like throwing it above my head and then like flying it down just off the snow. And I think that was the key, is over accentuating.
Yeah, it's like, is it gotta go up like this and then like way down to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a crazy, filming is difficult. Especially like, on the move, like riding through the park, you have to think about all the other obstacles and people while you're riding.
Yeah, it's an extra skill.
All right, so it's gonna scroll down. Evan B says just bought a new blackstrap balaclava. Nice, man. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
You got one too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they physically tight or like tight in like a good way?
Tight in a good way.
Okay.
I think it used to be more tight, and then my giant head and neck expanded it, and even despite putting it in the dryer a few times, like I feel it's a nice comfy without being too loose.
Nice. Which blackstrap do you have?
I don't know, it's black.
It's a straight up black one?
Yeah.
Nice. Blackstrap. Nice. And Dunk says, hey Kevin, I've been trying threes and every time I do a three, I catch my edge. How to fix? So yeah, sounds like if you're catching your edge on the takeoff, then you're probably spinning it too soon. So you gotta wait till you get to the actual takeoff. Wait till your board is right at the lip, and don't like slide that takeoff, like pop the takeoff. Get the edge away from the snow.
Yeah.
And we got...
You saying before about Justin Vasey and Yannick and Arab there, she called me from the Hollywood Squares.
Oh, cool.
Like, hey, we're chilling here with Justin Vasey.
Nice.
Hey, Justin, how's it going? It's good to meet you.
Oh, you talked to him on the phone.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Right next to like, I can't remember, somebody's square. They're like, hey, look, Justin Vasey. And then like on the floor was like...
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, Dolly Parton square.
Nice. Snowboard with the super chat says, hi Kris, hi Kevin for 90% park. DC Ply, Lobster, Ike Pro, Sims Juice, or Rossignol Gym Saw. Skill level, full noob, without fear to kiss the snow.
All right.
Oh, wow. I don't know. So the Lobster Ike Pro, it's kind of like, the lobster boards are like battalions. They got the spoons happening.
The word. Sims
Juice, haven't ridden that. Have you?
No.
Rossignol Jigsaw. I know that's a really popular board.
Yeah, I remember TJ's video on that. He said a lot of good things.
Nice. Go for the Rossignol Jigsaw.
Word.
That's our very uneducated opinion. And Brad Williams with the $5 super chat. No question or comment, but Brad, if you have a question, hit us up.
Nice.
L Stacker says, smash the like button. Thanks, L Stacker. You're a legend, man. And, L Stacker is just getting on here. All right, so many good questions. NGen says, hi, with the super chat. Hi there, Kris. Tell us a good joke. Hashtag DeWeek Camber podcast crew.
Ah, gotcha.
We'll give you
That's the DCP.
We'll give you some time to think about it if anything comes to your mind.
Oh man, I don't have any good ones. I actually remember reading, Jill sent me like 15 bad dad jokes or something.
Oh yeah, the bad dad jokes.
I can remember one of those where it's like somebody goes into a library and walks up to a librarian and asks them, do you have any books on paranoia? And the librarian looks up and says, yes, they're right behind you.
Nice. Awesome.
That's it. That's as good as you get.
That's good. It's clever. It's fun. Awesome, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Osvaldo, Kris, I have an idea for your logo.
Cool.
Your head, but only thing that pops up is your hair and beard color with the snowboard on the background.
Nice. Need to grow the hair out.
Yeah. It's kind of like a, like a hair.
I've seen someone like that before.
How does a snowboard? So kind of like maybe like a snowboard profile, and then with like a hair and a beard on the like middle of the board kind of thing, maybe. Or,
yep.
Where does the board go? The board is just like floating in the background.
Yeah, maybe. I got to come up with a few ideas for that. Yeah, still just kind of working on it. It's not really important at this time of year.
It's Valdo. Send us a sketch.
Yeah.
Gomanopoulos. I think he must be Greek with that last name. It's a good one. It's hard to say. Gomanopoulos says, just got the hat and stickers yesterday. Thanks, Kev. Awesome. Yeah, they're actually going out. It's working.
Almost done, huh?
So, yeah, we've got some beanies and stickers left. I think there's some links below, and getting some new versions soon. And yeah, we're shipping them out from here in Whistler. So If you guys have ever sent out 200 of one thing at once, it's like it's not as easy as it seems. And you get some weird looks at the post office.
Right. Just resumes.
They're kind of like at the post office, they're like, I guess you can send these. Like, Jill got accused of so my wife Jill, she's like the one that sends it all out, and she bought like a whole bunch of stamps at once, and she got accused of stamp fraud.
What does that mean?
They're like, are you buying stamps to resell them on the black market? And she's like, no, I'm not, I swear. Who buys black market stamps? Is that a thing?
I wouldn't understand. She got a good deal on them, obviously, so she could resell single stamps for less than they would be bought for.
No, if you buy in bulk, they're the same price as buying one at a time.
I understand why. I understand the angle. They know that their lineups take so long.
Yeah.
People would prefer just to pay somebody like 10 cents extra more per stamp and get them immediately.
Oh.
You go there to like have one thing filled out, waiting there for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh,
Easy.
Right. Oh, so people are like just buying black market stamps
for the convenience.
For the convenience.
Yeah.
And Melissa Barrett says, where to go in New Zealand for steep terrain? I don't know. I'm not an expert on New Zealand resorts, but
Mount Doom.
At Cardrona, they had a little bit of alpine with some steep stuff that you could hike to, so that was pretty cool. And
what was around there? You got the Remarkables.
You got Remarkables. You got Cardrona. You got Cornet Peak.
Oh yeah, yep.
You got Treble Cone. Treble Cone, yeah. Treble Cone. I think which one? People I think said that Treble Cone was the most all mountain friendly.
Okay.
So maybe look into that one, Treble Cone. I think I'm saying it right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. You've been in New Zealand. You hit a pig with your car.
I hit a pig with my car, yeah, on the North Island in the Coromandel. This pig had a death wish. It ran out right in front of me and killed itself.
Jeez. So Roadster 99 says, oh, heck yes. High Cascade Camp again this summer. Yeah. Gonna hopefully go there for 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah, I love High Cascade. I think this will be the 4th summer in a row.
Best thing to do in the summer, period.
It is. And FazeCon, hello, Kevin. Any suggestions? A board for riding East Coast icy conditions, something with mag track, camber perhaps, for groomers and resort riding. Yeah, so you're a recent Magna Traction convert.
Oh yes, got the Travis Rice Pro HP. It's got the C2, the Mervin C2 profile, so it's like...
Would you recommend that one?
Oh, hell yeah, heck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I found it's great all over the mountain. It's exceeded my expectations most everywhere that I've taken it. Even in the park, which has actually been very surprising for me. I've not had any issues in the park. Doing board slides on some of the kitchen tubes, whatever the pipes that you'd call those ones, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, so if you're out in the Ice Coast riding groomers and stuff, yeah, check out the T Rice by Libtech and the GNU boards or Jones board. But yeah, I don't know, there are lots of good ones to choose from. For sure.
I asked Kevin the old quick quiz, mag or no mag, or you asked me, and our decision was mag.
Yes, it was. Snowboard Life 14 wants to know, hi Kevin, who started first, you or Kris in snowboarding?
I think that was me. I was 13 years old. Did you start before that?
I think I was 15.
Oh, but you're...
like a year and a half or 2 years older.
Ooh.
So maybe it was the first year. So I was in grade 11. And I was, I don't know.
Maybe it was this exact same day.
Wait, 1990, I think I started in 98.
Oh, I started in 97.
There you go. Kris did. Kris was first.
Yeah, sometime. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it was a long time ago. But I was like 11, I don't know, I was like 13.
Yeah, I'm
12 in France. And it was pretty unknown at that time. There's a few snowboarders.
Yeah, I can remember like skiing and then all of a sudden seeing like some snowboarders like sliding down the runs like on their butts. And all
like,
side slipping and people are like learning and I was like, what is that? And then after seeing it, I was like, I think it was the next season was when I bought a board and step-on bindings.
Yeah.
98.
I remember seeing a few of those guys with those big 80s mustaches looking like, what are these young whippersnappers up to nowadays?
Yep, for sure. Old Man Shredder with another super chat. Kris, wicked progress, dude.
Thanks, man.
Has your injury last season helped with the motivation to go harder?
Ooh.
So have you actually become a better snowboarder because of the injury in the long run?
I think I have, yeah.
Nice.
It's I was just thinking about that the other day, if I've like surpassed, well, because I've been doing a lot of part progression recently, and if I've surpassed that, I've definitely taken a lot slower and methodical approach to everything in the park, and just repeating a lot of stuff without trying to leap before I look, kind of thing. But yeah, I'd say it's a new appreciation of the health, of the riding, of what I have to do, and
so you're like planning it out more, like almost like you're coming in with more of a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's helping to progress. Yeah.
Yes, I remember when I was a bit younger and more gung-ho, I just kind of look at a feature and be like, oh, I want to try to do this, and go up and usually like scrape my shins on the rail or something like that, and then just kind of try again from there. Whereas I don't heal so quick nowadays, so I gotta take a bit more methodical approach and just kind of figure it out, watching these guys do it, watching other people do it, and then slowly stepping up to that. And then when I feel like I'm ready, and like Kevin was saying earlier, if you're on like a good day where the snow conditions are soft and you feel like it's a good time to go, then go for it.
And Lord Farquhar 69 says, eyes on a new board for next season, Kris?
Oh, well, I really want to get a park board. But I got the Jones Storm Chaser. That's still going well. I got the T-Rice Pro. Yeah, I do kind of want like an ASIM free ride board. That would be nice. The Yes Pick Your Line was always one I looked at, but I think...
And you need a wide one too, right?
Apparently this year, someone was telling me this year they're doing, or next year they're doing the Pick Your Line in a wide. They were saying...
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to be manual traction though.
That's true. I'll wait until Libtech has come out with like another 8 profiles, and then I'll pick one of those.
What about GNU?
Yeah.
I'm looking
There's
at
so many board options.
I kind of want to try out the Headspace. It's like got the C3, so a bit of a more camber dominant profile. Mm-hmm. It's ASIM. But I need to get the 2020. I'm waiting for the 2020 to come out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy it in like New Zealand or somewhere.
Yeah. You can go buy the new boards down there, right?
Or GNU can send me one. I'll send GNU an email.
Everybody spam GNU.
And we got Cameron Robbins with the super chat. Thanks for the support. No question or comment, but yeah, hit us up, Cameron. All right. Lots of good questions on here, guys. And Grace L, is a Flexi board necessary for a tail block? I don't think so. I think that for the tail block, I feel like a less Flexi board may actually help.
Because it'll like stiffness in there.
It'll like stand you up a bit straighter.
If you get too much flex, it's gonna like boom,
it's gonna
shoot out.
Bung,
yeah. And then flick the snow at your buddy.
Philip, European ski resorts, any favorites? Yeah, a few favorites, but I need to do some more European snowboarding. There's like thousands of resorts in Europe, so next winter hopefully get onto a few new destinations. Want to check out Italy. Italy I think would be really cool.
Yep.
We met
Scotland would be good as well.
Yep. But we actually met some really cool Italian dudes when we were in Austria at the Stubai Glacier last fall. And they were telling us to come to Italy and snowboard and the Dolomites and stuff. So
I've never met like a non-outgoing, happy Italian. Yeah, it's so great to hang out with.
Yeah. There's lots of high fives and stuff happening too. They're like awesome. Very like they're talking with their hands and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I did the Dolomites. It was the last place I skied in Europe, and it was really fun. That was like 17 years ago though.
Wow. Ford Phillips, does anyone know what effect snowboard stance has on your riding, narrow versus wide? Yeah. So if you go too wide, it actually makes it so that it's like hard to move your weight around your board. You almost get like locked into position with like a too wide of a stance.
Sumo stance.
And what do you think about too narrow?
Too narrow, I mean, if you start getting forces, like, you know, you hit like a bit of a bump in the snow on the front of your board, it's harder for you to like absorb that and keep your body like lined up. It's going to put more lateral force on your legs and your knees, I think. So
yeah, just like a bit more off balance because it's like standing in one spot with your feet together. If somebody like goes to push you, you're like, ah. Versus if I go to push over like
sumo.
A person in a sumo squat, they're just not going to move. So yeah, it's kind of like that give and take between like stability versus like if you're like too much in a sumo squat, you're gonna be stuck too. So, and Ben Jansen says, do more vids with David Jones. Yeah, definitely want to.
I could do a knee recovery video with him. Yeah,
you guys could. Knee buddies, yeah.
Knee buddies, we could lock knees.
But yeah, shout out to David Jones. Check out his channel. He's he's recovering from that ACL surgery. So yeah, wishing David speedy recovery. He's still putting up videos. He's been putting up these like snowboard meme review videos, which are pretty funny. I always watch one of those. Yeah. Have you watched them?
Yeah, I saw that latest one. It was pretty good. It was at least there wasn't too many new ones, but there's a few good memes. You guys can actually put your memes in. Go find out from David Jones' channel where, but he accepts memes from you guys, and then if they're good, he'll put them in his meme review.
Yeah, so it's on Reddit. I don't know exactly the Reddit page, but it's something to do with snowboard memes on Reddit. Yeah.
Nice.
And all right. So Roadster, have you ridden many grassroots snowboard manufacturers, or do you mainly stick to the mainstream brands? Yeah, it's kind of tough. Like, I don't ride a ton of boards a season. I would like to ride, say, 10 to 12 boards a season, something like that, to get a good like overview and like kind of learn about boards. So it is hard to go into some of the more small companies and more niche, just because they're more obscure, and there's a lot of them too. So
there's a lot.
Where do you start?
There's even one called Niche Snowboards.
There is, yeah.
There's a lot seem to be popping up and using their own kind of unique take about where they are in their environment and their like mission plan. And at least for me, I probably only ride like 3 or 4 snowboards a year, so there's got to be at least like 50 different snowboard manufacturers out there. Yeah, it's so hard to choose because, you know, if this super niche brand comes up and they're like, oh, ride our board, but then if you haven't even ridden, say, you know, if there's 10 mainstream brands and you've only ridden 3 of those, and then people are asking questions about all kinds of boards, it's almost like kind of want to ride the boards that people are going to ask about, or like people will know or have access to as well, because it's good to recommend boards to people where they can get them wherever they are. Not just have them like Prior boards in Whistler here. Like, I've never ridden a Prior board. Have you ever ridden Prior? No, I've seen a lot of people riding them for sure, but I've never had the opportunity. Yeah, so that's like a board company that we should definitely ride. It's like down the road. They make them down the road, but literally Function Junction. Really important question here, guys. Coke or Pepsi? We'll answer at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Coke. Water. What? No, Coke. Drink water, guys. Coke. You love Coke. You love Pepsi too. I love Coke more. Oh yeah. Nice. And Philip says that Italy also has the best food. Yeah. Nice. I have been to Italy before, and it did have the best food for sure. And all right, lots of good questions. Let's do let's scroll down, make sure we're not missing anything. Oh, super chat from Roadster99. Oh, it just says thanks for answering my question. Nice. Thanks, Roadster. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Ben Jansen, what's been your favorite resort this season? Whistler for me. Just because Revelstoke was the only other one I didn't. Revelstoke Mountain, I'm sure you've heard, is awesome, but again, we got about half an inch of snow, and that was it.
Yeah, I would say, man, it's so tough. Yeah, I think
You got a deeper pool.
I think just Niseko was the best, just because it was different, it was new. And the snow was like amazing. So the conditions mattered like so much.
I'd be worried about going next year with you, because how can you get that good conditions again? They seem to be so good.
I think we may like start booking the trips like a little bit more last minute, like not completely last minute to where it's like too expensive, but waiting a bit longer to make sure that if we spend a couple grand on a trip, then we know it's going to be good conditions. So
you just need to get a few like musicians on your Instagram and whatnot, and then when they're not using their private jet, you just ask.
Yeah.
Hey, Lil Wayne, do you want to come over to us and ride Niseko? And it'd be like, yeah.
Well, Lil Jon does follow TJ on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome. All right, few more super chats. Mr. C-No, super chat. It'd be cool to see you guys try a Napton twin. Yeah, so we actually have like a friend in town too, who I talked to the other day, who's got a Napton twin who we might borrow one off of. So
nice. It
would be really cool to try that board. And we've also got Low Cry with a super chat. I have a Burton Clash. I will be getting a second board. I'm looking for a more advanced all-mountain board for next season. What do you recommend? The Orca, Libtech Orca. What do you recommend, Kris? All-mountain?
All-mountain, that's not... Maybe the DOA?
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Good advice. Oh, we have another super chat from Dwayne Mountain Dew Camacho. Awesome YouTube name, man.
Yeah.
Your videos really helped me, inspired my wife. She got on a board for the first time in January, and she's already doing so well.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, that's great to hear. It's that's the whole goal. Get more people snowboarding and enjoying this like amazing fun thing to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like once I learned to snowboard, all I wanted to do was get more people into it. Like, and like my friends I had at the time who didn't get into snowboarding, I feel like we probably never talked again. Just like all my friends that I have snowboard, I think. I don't know. Not on purpose, just like a natural.
Yeah, I hear you. One of my buddies came to visit, and granted he was skiing, but I took him up and on tour on the mountain and whatnot, and it was really cool for sure. But for him, he said it was like one of the coolest things he's ever done. Just being up in the mountains and experiencing that whole side of going exploring, and yeah, he loved it, and it made me really appreciate it more, seeing how pumped he was.
Yeah, for sure. So Dwayne, yeah, that's awesome to hear, and hopefully Jill will get in some more videos too as well. So to continue.
Get Jill in more videos.
Yeah, keep getting some of the girlfriends and the ladies and the wives out snowboarding, and she'll get a review on the GNU Velvet too, coming soon.
Yeah.
Looks pretty nice, right?
It looks really nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for the hour-long live chat. Thanks everyone for the super chats. You guys are legends, and everyone for tuning in. All the support, all the likes, and it's been an amazing season. So thank you guys for tagging along. But more to come. Spring riding in Whistler.
Yep.
The next
more
2 months.
Park.
Woo,
more air, more rails, more likes, more videos.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys want, check out Kris's channel as well. It's Kris Eyres, Eyres. And what's your next video going to be? Any ideas?
How to do a double back.
Nice. If you want to check out how to do a double back or double black?
Double back off a double black.
Nice.
Into Corbett's.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so check out Kris's channel. I'll put a link to it below. Thanks for coming over, man.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, pleasure.
All right.
Guys, really nice to hang out with you and see everybody.
Yeah.
And have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.